This is 100% given up by you watching. So, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we ain't gonna drop the clip in. Young Thug trying to go for a revisit, get more time to come to Atlanta and spend with family and friends and events and all this stuff and everything like that. And there were comments that basically was like, hey, bruh, why would he do that? Why would he do that? And then there were other comments saying, well, this is Thug's first time, getting in trouble and everything like that. And it led us to go, well, shoot, what's going to happen? Well, thankfully, we know something the others don't. Let's go. So, shout out to Ellie for this freaking gem of a gem of a gem. And let's just get into it. This is how early termination for Young Thug can proceed. So I'm just read all of this crap. Early termination of your probation under Georgia's new law. Second chance for Georgia. Unlocking opportunity through reentry and reform. Agenda. Who are we? Georgia Justice Project. Why Georgia needs probation reform and what SB 105 does. How the early termination process works under SB 105. How to address roadblocks. Q plus A, which is questions and answers. About Georgia Justice Project, GJP. Established in 1986, located in the historic old 4th Ward MLK District. Annual budget, $2.5 million, 100% privately funded. 24 full-time staff, 4 part-time, engaged with 50 volunteer attorneys annually. So how it goes right here is Georgia's criminal justice system, 39,000 people in local jails, 54,000 people in prison. Holy shit. Whoa. 527,000 people in jail, prisons, or under probation / parole. 1 in 18 people in jail, prisons, or under probation, parole. 4.3 million people with a criminal record. That is insane. So here we go. Georgia's Justice Project's intervention. Policy 21 laws change, expanded expungement impacts 1.5 million Georgians. Early probation for termination impacts up to 48,000 Georgians. Holistic criminal defense, legal representation with social services, long-term support for clients, prison support / reentry lawyering, metro, reentry facility, MRF, fines and fees reform, probation termination, record restriction, expungement, legal representation, restriction summits, expungement, help desk. Wow. This is insane. What is wrong with probation in Georgia? Georgia has more individuals on probation than any other state in the country. Georgia's average probation sentence is 6.3 years versus the national average of less than 2 years. 40% of probation sentences in Georgia exceed 10 years. Black people are at least 2 times more likely to be on probation than white people and 8 times more likely in Fulton. What? Elizabeth Rainwater, staff attorney in Equal Justice Works, fellow sponsored by the Clorox Company. So shout out to Bleach. About SB 105. When effective May 3rd, 2021, what? Clear process to allow people to pursue early termination of their felony probation sentence. How SB 105 establishes 1. Set of criteria, process, court standard. Eligibility. Who is eligible for early termination consideration under SB 105? Everyone. After 3 years. DCS does not have any blanket policies that disqualify certain offenses from early termination. Poll, why are you here today? I'm on felony probation. I have a loved one on felony probation. I assist people on felony probation. Or 4, you're a visionary and we being nosy. We want to see exactly what the heck can happen. We're just going to be fair, square, obvious, and honest. So here we go. Eligibility criteria for early termination. No arrest for anything besides a non-serious traffic offense, OCGA 40-6-15. No probation revocations in the past 24 months. Paid all their restitution, not including fines and fees. Eligibility criteria for early termination, arrests, and revocations. No new arrests besides a non-serious traffic offense, OCGA 40-6-15, reckless driving, DUI, homicide by vehicle, fetishized by vehicle, serious injury by vehicle, fleeing or attempting to elude a police office. I'm assuming they wanted to put officer there. Homicide or serious injury by with official traffic control device or railroad sign or signal or aggressive driving. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. All right. No revocation in the past 24 months. Sentence revoked in whole or part for violating a condition of your probation. Serve time in jail or prison or due to revocation. Does not include modification of probation conditions, sanctions, status hearings. Ooh. All right. Because if y'all remember, Young Thug just had that pop off. But she said basically in 2027. So still 2024 as of today. Eligibility criteria for early termination, restitution. 3. Paid all restitution. Court order payment to a victim does not include fines or fees, fines, probation supervision fees, fine surcharges. Poll. Do you believe you meet the qualifications for early termination? No new arrests, no revocation in the past 24 months, paid all restitution. The process for early termination. You do not need an attorney to start the process. DCS will begin the process. Oh, that's dope. All right, so shout out. Overview of the process for early termination. On probation, 3 years. Meet 3 criteria. No new arrests, no revocation in the past 24 months, paid all restitution. And then you see the little star. What is that? Is that a 7-pointed star? That is hilarious. Somebody must have just drew that freehand. Eligible for early termination. DCS must submit an order to terminate. First felony offense, no more than 1 year to serve, or straight probation, behavioral incentive date. Qualified offense, DCS must submit progress report and may submit an order to terminate all other offenses, which means basically Thug is going to be able to do this. Miles Farley, everybody who's essentially on the first felony offense. So there's that. Y'all got to remember, this is Jeffrey Williams' first felony offense. So his rights will be restored too because he can go under the First Offender Act as well. The process for early termination behavior, incentive date, BID, applies to individuals serving a probation sentence for their first felony offense who were sentenced to either straight probation or not more than 1 year to serve, followed by probation. If you qualify for a BID, your BID will be 3 years from the date you were sentenced, and DCS must submit an order to terminate. The judge may include a BID of less than 3 years in your sentence. This will be the date you are eligible for early termination. You must still meet the 3 criteria to qualify for early termination under SB 105. The process for early termination qualified offenses OCGA 42-8-21, burglary in the 2nd degree, possession of tools for the commission of a crime, arson in the 3rd degree, theft offenses, forgery, drug offenses, criminal damage to property, interference with government property, failing to pay for natural products or chattels, financial transaction card offense. If you meet the 3 criteria, DCS must submit an order to terminate after 3 years of your probation sentence. The process for early termination, not BID eligible, plus not a qualified offense. Written progress report after 3 years must specifically state whether you have been arrested, had your probation revoked in the past 24 months, paid all restitution. If early termination is recommended, DCS must submit an order to terminate. If early termination is not recommended, DCS must submit a progress report annually. The process for early termination, DCS must submit an order to terminate. BID eligible, not BID eligible, but convicted of a qualified offense. DCS must submit a progress report and may submit an order to terminate. All other felony probation cases, the process for early termination. DCS recommends early termination and goes down to DCS will provide sentencing court with an order to terminate probation. Court must grant order unless prosecutor or court requests a hearing within 30 days. Now we know 100% that they're going to fight that anyways. But the funnier part is that Paige Reese Whitaker will be the person there. And I think as long as Young Thug does what he's supposed to do, she'll grant it. But the process for early termination. A judge cannot deny DCS recommendation for early termination without a hearing. Time limitations requests for a hearing. The judge and prosecuting attorney have 30 days upon receipt of the order. Date of hearing must be set within 90 days of receiving order. That's crazy. But she's not going to be able to deny it anyways, even if she wanted to. So the process for early termination. If your case is scheduled for a hearing, you will have an opportunity to present to the judge why you should no longer be on probation. The judge will decide if it's in the best interest of justice and welfare society for you to be off probation. And I'm going to be fair to y'all. The more I think about this and the words that she said to young Jeffrey Williams, I don't think that she's going to do it the first go around. But here we go. The process for early termination. What to expect at a hearing. Your probation officer will be there and may testify. The prosecutor may argue for you to remain on probation. The victims may be present to testify. You may also bring witnesses. What to bring to a hearing. Support letters, proof of employment, academic achievements, proof of volunteer charitable work, certificates for completing a trade, skill, substance use treatment, mental health programs, special job training, occupational licenses. Poll. Have you reached out to your probation officer to ask about early termination? Is your probation officer recommending you for early termination? Have you already been scheduled for a hearing? Has your probation been early terminated? If you have any issues, please complete our Google form that we will be sending out after this webinar. Process for early termination. Where to start if you think you are eligible. Find out who your probation officer is. 2, call your probation officer and ask them to consider you for early termination of probation. Rachel Holmes, managing attorney. Roadblocks and concerns. This is pretty good. Roadblocks and concerns. Who do I contact? Call the probation officer you are reporting to. What if I don't know who my probation officer is? Contact the probation office where you were sentenced. Roadblocks and concerns. What if I'm unable to get in contact with my probation officer? Call the main line for the probation office in the county where you reside. Roadblocks and concerns. My probation officer says I don't qualify for early termination because of my charges. My fines/fees make me ineligible. The judge isn't granting orders for my type of charges. Then ask to have a supervisor, review your case. Roadblocks and concerns. What if I don't know what happened to my order to terminate after my probation officer recommended early termination? Reach out to your probation officer or the assistant chief probation officer of your county. Roadblocks and concerns. What if my probation officer is not recommending me for early termination, but I am BID eligible or on probation for a qualified offense? If you meet the criteria and have been on probation 3 years, ask to speak to the supervisor. If DCS is not recommending early termination, contact GJP. Roadblocks and concerns. What if I am in the all other cases category and my probation officer is not recommending me for early termination? Ask what your probation officer thinks you could work on. Remember that each year your PO will submit a progress report and can recommend you for early termination. Contact GJP or hire an attorney if you would still like to pursue early termination for your probation. Roadblocks and concerns. Are there any offenses that are not eligible for early termination under SB 105? No. DCS did not have any blanket policies that disqualify certain offenses from early termination. Roadblocks and concerns. Can SB 105 help me get off parole early? SB 105 does not apply to parole cases. For more information about parole commutation, see OCGA 42-9-52. Parole board must review qualified offense cases after a person has successfully completed 12 consecutive months of parole supervision to be considered for early release. How can GJP help me with probation? Contact us if eligible, but DCS is not submitting an order to terminate on your behalf after you have reached out to your probation officer. Court does not move the order forward. Schedule for an early termination of probation hearing. Future listening sessions. GJP will be hosting 3 listening sessions to provide space for individuals serving felony probation sentence to talk about issues they're having requesting early termination, as well as ask questions. Limited capacity. Last Wednesday of each month. First session, Wednesday, September 29th at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, through 4 o'clock, sorry. Yeah, let's just get into the content now. Yeah, so that's the game plan. What I believe will happen, and I already said in the previous video, I think Paige Reese Whitaker, because she'll be the judge that will be handing it out as far as a reduction in probation and all this stuff and everything like that. I'm pretty sure Thug will file for the first offenders and all that and everything like that. Yeah, he's going to basically be on probation within the next 3 to 4 years. So that whole 17-year probation, 11-year probation and everything, and everybody's screaming and all that crap, bro, it's not going to matter. It's not. It looks good. It sounds crazy. But as far as how the law works, as far as last year's law, yeah, Young Thug isn't going to serve all of that. It would make no sense. And to be fair, the stats were ridiculous. 4 times more than anybody else, and all this elongated freaking waiting and all this crap and everything like that. Yeah, hell no. So as far as young Jeffrey Williams go, he only gonna be on probation for either 3 or 4 years. I can call it now. So when we down the road and we come back and we revisit this, and everybody gonna be excited. Oh, Young Thug, yeah, man, he's on probation. Everybody gonna go, well, hey, the visionaries already called this a long time ago. Because at the end of the day, shoot, Young Thug had a pretty decent deal. And I know with some people are still debating or conversing about whether all that and everything like that. It ain't gonna matter, bro. It's really not. End of the day, get out of jail. I ain't telling nobody to break rule or break code or nothing like that, but get out of jail. So y'all let me know your thoughts on this one, because I thought it was fascinating as I was reading this. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. because everybody who's outside of Georgia who knows nothing of the laws and the probation stuff as far as getting it reduced, every freaking body was getting it all wrong. So we just gonna correct this, and hopefully, man, he's enjoying his vacation and all that with his kids and stuff like that. Hopefully, he changes for the better and keep it up and everything like that. But I think part of the reason music ain't coming out, his family is far more important, and he has a bunch of fights going on. And the money part of this and everything like that will be wrapped up, in February? So we'll have that all wrapped up by February. And I'm going to start dropping YNW Melly news. There was some that dropped today, but I had to drop it tomorrow because of algorithm purposes. And we're definitely going to drop a very long, brisk video, basically going through it and seeing what the heck is up, what's going on, and everything like that. Because I had a theory, but you get to research it and all that and everything, man. It gets real bad. So tomorrow around like 9 a.m. East Coast, 6 a.m. West Coast time, we gonna drop that video, and I ain't gonna hold you. It's gonna be a long video, probably like 30, 40 minutes. So before you get your football and stuff or anybody else, whatever, you need to save it and watch later while you at work. If you got Sunday work, you're about to do a long drive, whatever the case may be, this will be the video for you. And I appreciate y'all for hitting the like button and subscribing and stuff like that. I can't wait to start handing out way more stuff because we going up over here, man. And I appreciate you all. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Yeah, man, we just hit 200K. We on our way to 300, man. Subscribe today so you can find out how you can win an Xbox or a PlayStation, man. The details are on the way. This is how you know somebody is literally going to be in the drawing. Robin Minter, check him out, man. All we do is go down and we look and we see his subscriptions. Who does he have? He has Seti Nash right here. What also happens, take that off. Top commenter. That right here, public subscriber. So that's what you got to do, and make sure you share each video, and then you'll be entered to win. Shout out to Mike. Good luck. Subscribe, turn that bell, stay notified, and share to keep your people aware. I'll catch you on the next one.